Hello and welcome to a video. So today we're going to be making my YouTube banner and profile photo. So what I'm doing here is just like trying to figure out what type of background I'm wanting. As we can see, I kept getting rid of it, redoing it. I just couldn't come up with one that I was happy with, so I just got straight into the sketch idea. And what my sketch idea is, it's supposed to be like a little cat that is like really chunky. People could describe it like a dumpling or like a mochi. Just fast asleep, chilling, and I wanted to make it like pencil-y, like I've physically drawn it, if you get what I mean. I like the rough sketch style of it. And so here I couldn't decide if I wanted the ears up or down, so I kept drawing like loads of different ways until I found what I liked. And then once I was happy with what I want, I started basically putting the blocky colours. I wanted to make them a bit like, pop and noticeable, so we've made them like yellows and blues, just to give him a bit of a, make him noticeable essentially. So that's what I'm doing here. It did take me a while to choose the right colours that I was wanting, and then obviously I wanted to add a bit of shade in there so it didn't look too flat. Here I'm just like going over like gaps I had in and just doing a lighter pink on the ears. I didn't know whether to add like, the sleeping Zeds above his head like going up, but I thought it'd be quite cute, so we decided to do that. And then with the font, I ended up drawing with multiple different fonts to try figure out what font was my favourite. We went with this one. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but it is a bit fancy, a bit nice. I think it's a bit more professional. Obviously we wanted to still keep it artsy, so we added a banner, and this is essentially the design that I ended up being happy with, kind of. I did end up changing it a bit as we were doing the final one, which makes a bit of sense. I don't know what I was doing. I didn't know. I was thinking of like, I think I was going for like, how the neon signs, but I just couldn't make it right. So I think I just thought, let's just make it thicker. I thought it was a bit too thin. Like I also wanted my name to pop and that, and it just looked a bit too thin, so we went over with it thicker. Here we are trying to sort something out for the background again. We ended up going back to it. Still wasn't happy with what I wanted. Just kept going and going. It's the best thing you can do really when you're doing art stuff. Don't like it, keep going until you feel like it or feel comfortable with it. It's your artwork at the end of the day. You do what makes you happy. I felt like I quite enjoyed this. It was quite nice, but later on obviously it'll change. But I thought the actual background was a bit too plain. Like the name and that popped, but so there I was saving it, just making sure it fit into the YouTube banner bit, but it didn't, so I was messing around with the sizes, going back and forth. That took ages to do, but we ended up coming out with a size that we liked. You see, I was just messing around with it. I just wanted to make sure it fit nicely on all like TVs, computers, PCs, phones, tablets, all that. ended up being quite small, and it went a bit of like a glittery effect, which now I'm not too sure I like that glittery effect, but I like the final design, so we'll keep going. So yeah, I ended up, after drawing the lines and drawing basically where it was comfortable to be, I ended up slipping it up and moving it to where, so it was a nice size. Yeah, sadly I had to stretch the name a bit, but it comes out nicely. And now we are going back to the final sketch. Again, I still wanted to keep the drawing of the cat really sketch-like, really, drawing like, and then I ended up using a different pen for the name to give it that, to give the ends like a bit thinner, which I thought was quite nice. Made it look like I was writing with what are those pens called? Like, you know what I mean. Then we ended up changing the banner because I thought the way it was, the original one, was just a bit too boring, and with the way it came down, I wanted it a bit more on it, so we ended up changing it a bit, but it looks a lot nicer now. And obviously that I had to resketch, but we like it, so. And then I ended up using the same brush for the banner that I used for the name, because I wanted to try to keep it all together. That I was just back in the middle of it, the banner, so when I would write the name, or the word art, it would stay in the middle. And then because I had like loads of gaps next opposite, I didn't know what to add, and because we went with a cat, we decided to add some paws, which I thought was quite cute. So it gives it a bit more on it than just plain yellow with art on it. Here we are, we're now colouring in, obviously. Still sticking with the same yellows and blues because I really liked the yellows and blues I chose. It did take me ages to find those ones. Obviously for the base colour for the cat we're using solid colours. And then when I was doing the shading basically, I got a pencil, the pencil that I used to do the outline, to give it that like crayon-y look, which I really like. Here we are, the crayon-y look. I don't know, like going out the lines a little bit, and then it just looks like I've gone over with a crayon, like when you're at a restaurant and you've got a kid's colour page with crayons, nice little crayons. I would go with a bit darker to give the cat more depth. We need a name for the cat, so that would be really cool if you guys could help me name the cat. We don't have a name for him yet. I was thinking Mochi, but I didn't know if that was a bit too, We'll come up with a name. And yeah, we even went with the Zeds with the cranny looks. I wanted to keep that bit all together, and then the name and the banner all together, like two different pieces put together to make one. And then, I did go a bit crazy on the banner as well, but all the colouring, it makes all look together. So for the background, because obviously I went over that with a crayon, I want to also have the background with the crayony look. I went over with the black first, and then the pink, because I thought with the black it looks like it was on a black piece of paper, and I thought that looked a lot nicer than just white. It'd be too bright and just a bit in your face really, so I went with the pink. And then I decided to outline everything because I thought it just didn't look, it just looked a bit out of place essentially, like it just been slapped in the middle of a piece of paper. We wanted to bring it more together, so I outlined everything in a darker pink, and then I realised I'll need to go into a lighter pink. As you can see, the crayon as well on the pillar has come out the lines, but we like that. I like it. Like I said, it makes it look like I've just got on a crayon and scribbled it on. I wanted to make sure it wasn't too dark, so I went over with pink again, so it wasn't too much black on it, but there was enough black. And then after I outlined, I was like, I want to do like a ribbony effect, so I was trying bows and all sorts, and I came to this, which I really liked. And then I thought it still looked a bit plain, so I got a black pen, basically did like splatter sprinkles to make it look like, like homemade paper. I've ever seen that kind of have like little dots and texture, and I wanted to create that. But the name and that was still not in your face, so I ended up doing what you've just seen, where I went over with thicker lines to put it all together. And then for my profile, I was like, I'll keep it simple, I'll use the cat. So then at the bottom of my videos in the corner, you'll see the cat, which I think is really cute. Like I said, we need a name for the bald kitty. But yeah, that's essentially how I made my banner and my profile. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So I'll see you next time. Bye!